My girlfriend's best friend tauntingly said, "I'm going to steal your girlfriend. You stole my prom date 12 years ago." I didn't say anything. Instead, I immediately called my girlfriend and hatched a plan that would shock her best friend. That evening, her best friend showed up at her door in a suit, holding a bouquet. When the door opened, what he saw was more than enough to shatter his dreams. Hey viewers, if you like listening to such stories, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. I'm 28, been with my girlfriend Natalie for 3 years now. We met through mutual friends at a bar downtown, and honestly, I thought I'd found the one. She's smart, funny, and has this laugh that lights up every room. We moved in together last year, and things were perfect. Or so I thought. Then there was Marcus, her best friend since college. The guy was always around, always texting, always finding excuses to stop by unannounced. I never liked him, but Natalie insisted he was harmless. "He's like a brother to me," she'd say whenever I brought it up. Last Tuesday changed everything. I was leaving the gym around 7 p.m. when Marcus approached me in the parking lot. He leaned against my car with this smug grin, arms crossed like he owned the place. "Hey man, got a minute?" he asked. "Not really," I said, unlocking my door. "I'll make it quick then." He stepped closer, and his expression hardened. "I'm going to steal your girlfriend. Consider it payback for what you did 12 years ago." I froze. "What the hell are you talking about?" "Prom. Senior year. You stole my date, remember? Amanda Richards. She was supposed to go with me, but you swooped in last minute." His face twisted with old anger. "You humiliated me in front of everyone. Now it's my turn." I stared at him, genuinely confused before the memory clicked. Amanda Richards. We dated for maybe 3 months after prom before going to different colleges. And yeah, I'd asked her after she and Marcus had broken up over something stupid. But stolen? That was a massive stretch. Dude, that was 12 years ago. We were kids. Are you seriously still hung up on that? "Oh, I'm dead serious." He smiled, and it wasn't friendly. "Natalie deserves better than you anyway. Someone who actually appreciates her. Someone who's been there for her through everything." I wanted to punch him right there. Every fiber of my being wanted to knock that smirk off his face. But I'm not stupid. Getting arrested wasn't going to help anything. So instead, I got in my car and drove home. The entire 15-minute drive, my mind raced. Was this guy delusional? Did Natalie know he felt this way? Had something already happened between them? When I got home, Natalie was in the kitchen making dinner, humming along to some playlist. Our cat Pepper was weaving between her legs. It looked so peaceful and normal that for a moment I considered not saying anything. But I couldn't do that. "Nat, we need to talk." She looked up immediately, concerned. "What's wrong? You look upset." I told her everything. The parking lot confrontation, Marcus's threat, the prom story from 12 years ago. I watched her face carefully as I spoke, looking for any sign of guilt or awareness. But she just looked shocked, then furious. "Are you kidding me right now?" Marcus said that. She put down the wooden spoon she'd been using. "That's insane. He's never said anything like that to me. I swear." "I believe you," I said, and I did. Natalie wasn't a liar. "But we need to do something about this. We can't just ignore it." She pulled out her phone. "I'm calling him right now. This is ridiculous." Wait. An idea was forming in my mind. It was petty, maybe even cruel, but after Marcus's smug threat, I didn't care. "I have a better idea. But I need you to trust me." Natalie raised an eyebrow. "I'm listening." "Here's what we planned." Natalie would text Marcus that we'd had a huge fight. She'd tell him I'd accused her of having feelings for him, that I was jealous and controlling, and that she was done with me. She'd ask if she could come stay at his place for a few days while she figured things out. "This feels manipulative," Natalie said as we drafted the message. "He literally threatened to steal you from me." I reminded her. "I think we're past worrying about being manipulative." She sent the text at 9:47 p.m. Marcus responded in under 2 minutes. "Of course you can stay here. I've got your back. You deserve so much better than him." Natalie showed me the phone, and I felt vindicated. This guy was ready to pounce the second there was an opening. The next part was trickier. Natalie told Marcus she needed one more night at our apartment to pack and say goodbye to Pepper, but tomorrow evening she'd love to come over. Maybe they could have dinner and talk. "I really need a friend right now," she texted. Marcus ate it up. He even offered to cook for her. "I'll make that risotto you love," he replied with a heart emoji. That's when Natalie got creative. "What if we make him think he's got a real chance? Let him show up here expecting me to be alone, and then we both answer the door together." "Better," I said. What if we invite your parents over for dinner tomorrow night? Make it a whole family thing. Natalie's eyes lit up. Oh my God. Yes. My dad already thinks Marcus is weird. This would be perfect. Update 1. Wednesday evening arrived. Natalie's parents showed up at 6:30 p.m. with wine and dessert. Her mom, Carol, immediately started asking about some mysterious news Natalie had mentioned on the phone. Her dad, Robert, shook my hand and settled onto the couch, where Pepper claimed his lap. So what's this big announcement? Carol asked as we sat around the dining table. I'd made lasagna and garlic bread. Everything looked perfect and domestic. We're thinking about getting engaged, Natalie said, reaching for my hand. It wasn't exactly a lie. We had been discussing it. She smiled at me warmly. Carol gasped and started asking a million questions about rings and dates. Robert grunted what might have been approval and ate another slice of bread. At exactly 7:15 p.m., our doorbell rang. Natalie and I exchanged glances. Right on time. She'd texted Marcus that afternoon suggesting he come by around 7 to help her move boxes to his car, implying I wouldn't be home. I stood up. I'll get it. Who's that? Carol asked. Marcus, Natalie said casually. I forgot I told him to stop by. I opened the door and had to physically stop myself from laughing. Marcus stood there in an actual three-piece navy suit with a burgundy tie. He was holding an expensive bouquet of roses and had a bottle of champagne tucked under his arm. His hair was slicked back with what looked like an entire jar of gel. He'd dressed up for what he thought was his big romantic moment, his chance to finally steal Natalie. The expression on his face when he saw me was absolutely priceless. Confusion, then panic, then anger all flickered across his features in about 2 seconds. Hey Marcus, I said cheerfully. Come on in. We're having dinner with Natalie's parents. What? He looked past me into the apartment where he could clearly see Natalie sitting at the table with her parents, laughing at something her dad said. Natalie's parents are here for dinner, I repeated slowly. Did she not mention that? She said, she texted that you guys fought, that she was leaving. He trailed off, realization dawning on his face. Oh, that. I leaned against the doorframe. Yeah, we worked that out. Communication is important in relationships, don't you think? Natalie appeared behind me. She looked at Marcus, at the flowers, at the suit, and her face hardened. Marcus, what are you doing here dressed like that? You texted me. You said you needed help, that you were done with him. I said you could stop by to pick up those books I borrowed, Natalie interrupted coldly. Why are you in a suit? And what's with the flowers and champagne? Marcus's face went bright red. He looked between us, and I could see him putting the pieces together. The setup, the trap, the complete humiliation. You set me up, he stammered. You told my boyfriend you were going to steal me from him over some prom drama from 12 years ago, Natalie shot back. What exactly did you think was going to happen here, Marcus? Carol appeared behind us. Marcus, honey, is everything okay? Those are beautiful flowers. That was the final blow. Marcus looked at Natalie's mom, at us standing together, at his ridiculous suit and expensive roses, and something broke. He literally dropped everything. The flowers hit the doormat. The champagne bottle rolled across the floor, and he turned and walked away without saying a word. We watched him get into his car and drive off with squealing tires. What was that about? Carol asked, bewildered. Marcus had some misunderstandings about our relationship, Natalie said simply. But I think we've cleared them up now. Update 2. Thursday morning, I woke up to 15 missed calls from Marcus and increasingly unhinged text messages. They started apologetic. I'm so sorry. I misread everything, and devolved into angry accusations. The last one, sent at 3:47 a.m., read, You're a manipulative psychopath and Natalie deserves to know who she's with. Natalie blocked him immediately, but Marcus wasn't done. That afternoon, he showed up at Natalie's workplace causing a scene. Security had to escort him out. He was apparently crying, saying she'd betrayed him and their friendship was a lie. I think he actually believed we were going to end up together, Natalie told me on the phone, shaken. That evening, Robert called. Marcus had sent him a long message on social media about how I was manipulating Natalie, how I'd orchestrated this cruel prank. Robert screenshotted everything and asked if we wanted him to handle it. We said no. Friday morning, Marcus posted on social media a full manifesto about toxic relationships and manipulation. He didn't name us specifically, but anyone who knew the situation would understand. He painted himself as the loyal friend who'd been deceived, and humiliated. The comments were mixed. Some supportive friends who didn't know the full story, and others asking pointed questions. One college buddy commented, "Dude, are you talking about Natalie? Because this is weird." Final update. It's been 2 months since everything went down. Marcus eventually backed off after Natalie's company threatened legal action for harassment when he tried emailing lies about her to her entire office. He's apparently in therapy now, which is probably long overdue. Natalie and I are stronger than ever. We actually did get engaged last month during a quiet weekend getaway. No drama, no grand gestures, just us. I still think about that evening sometimes. Marcus standing at our door in his fancy suit with those roses, the look on his face when he realized he'd been played. I don't feel guilty. He threatened our relationship over something from high school that I'd completely forgotten about. But I do wonder what would have happened if I'd just ignored him that day. Would he have made his move anyway? Would it have caused even more damage? I'll never know. What I do know is that sometimes people reveal who they really are when they think they're about to get what they want. Marcus showed us he was willing to destroy Natalie's reputation and our relationship because he couldn't handle rejection. We dodged a bullet. Edit. People are asking if Natalie feels bad about losing the friendship. She says no. Looking back, Marcus was never really her friend. Friends don't harbor secret feelings for years while pretending everything is platonic. She's sad about losing what she thought the friendship was, but not what it actually was. Edit 2. I looked up Amanda from the prom story out of curiosity. She's married with kids, living in Colorado, seems happy. There was no stealing involved back then. She and Marcus had broken up before I asked her to prom. But Marcus nursed that grudge for over a decade, which is honestly just sad.